GTA 6 feels like one of those rare games where even the trailers make the rest of the industry look nervous. Not just because it's big, not just because it's Grand Theft Auto, but because Rockstar has a history of moving the line completely in the industry. GTA 4 framed Liberty City around the idea of the American dream. GTA 5 changed the series by making these protagonists the core of one story, and Red Dead Redemption 2 pushed the idea of a living world so far that Rockstar was openly talking about around 200 species of wildlife behaving and interacting inside of it. Now, Grand Theft Auto 6 is officially set for November 19th, as we know, and Rockstar said Trailer 2 was captured entirely in-game from a PlayStation 5, made up of equal parts gameplay and cutscenes. This is why people are not just asking if GTA 6 will be good, they're asking how every other open world game is going to feel after it. And that is really the point of this video. When people say GTA 6 could change gaming forever, I think they mean player expectations will shift. The standard for how believable a world should look, how natural people should move, how dense a city should feel, and how smooth the jump from cutscene to gameplay should be. All of that gets pushed higher. And Rockstar's own marketing, plus the reaction from other developers, shows that people already expect GTA 6 to be one of those benchmark games. In a survey, 171 developers were asked what they were most looking forward to in 2026 in terms of gaming, and GTA 6 came up most often, with several saying it could redefine player standards or be once in a generation turning point. The first thing to understand is Rockstar usually does not change the conversation by just making things bigger in their titles. A bigger map on its own is not revolutionary anymore. What changes things is density. It is when a world feels authored at a higher level than people are used to. That is what made Red Dead Redemption 2 stand out. It was not only the size of the world, it was the sense that the world kept moving even when you were doing nothing. Animals reacted, NPCs reacted, small details piled up until the whole thing felt unusually believable. GTA 6 looks like Rockstar trying to bring that same level of authored detail into a much louder, faster, more crowded modern setting. This is a big deal, because modern cities are much harder to sell than nature. If a beach, a nightclub, a highway, a gas station, and a packed street all feel alive at the same time, that is where the game starts raising the bar. A lot of people see Trailer 2 and immediately talk about graphics, but I think the bigger thing is questioning its simulation. Yes, the visuals are absurd. Cloth creasing and swaying across different outfits, realistic reflections in mirrors and glasses, volumetric clouds, improved water behavior, more convincing hair shading, muscle deformation, sweat, detailed geometry, and even tiny background details like animals moving through scenes. Now, Digital Foundry, which is a game tech analysis outlet, they analyze the technical breakdown of trailers, gameplay, and games overall, and basically they calculate their best estimate of what resolution the game potentially is at, frame rate, rendering, and performance. They specifically did a public analysis and stated that the trailer appears to be upscaled to 4K at 30 FPS. Which matters because it suggests Rockstar may be spending a huge amount of its hardware budget on lighting, reflections, detail density, and world complexity, instead of chasing an easy 60 FPS headline. That does not confirm the final performance target, but it does say a lot about what Rockstar seems to care about most. That is why so many of the details people keep replaying are not flashy action moments. It is the sand, the foam, the cloth, the way light hits glass, the traffic in the background, the little bits of movement that normally get faked or simulated in other games, and that may not seem that big. But put enough of it together and the whole world starts feeling more expensive, more reactive, and more real. That is usually how Rockstar separates itself. Not with one magic feature, but with thousands of small ones stacked on top of each other, making a massive impact in the immersion of their worlds. Another reason this game could shift expectations is that Rockstar is clearly not selling GTA 6 as some procedurally generated tech demo. Take-Two CEO Strauss said in February that generative AI had zero part in what Rockstar is building for Grand Theft Auto 6. Described Rockstar's worlds as handcrafted, built building by building, street by street, neighborhood by neighborhood, and that is a really important quote, because right now a lot of studios are throwing around words like AI and procedurally generated as shortcuts to scale. Now, I'm not talking about modern day AI because AI has been around for a very long time and it's used in a lot more titles than you might think. But Rockstar is basically saying the opposite from the standard of the gaming industry. The goal is not to fake density, the goal is to create density at a level that still feels human. And honestly, that is probably a big part of why GTA 6 looks the way it does. That also fits the way Rockstar is presenting Leonida. Jason and Lucia are framed as two people trapped inside a wider criminal conspiracy. Cal Hampton feels like Rockstar's take on internet paranoia. Real Demez are built around viral hooks and social media presence. Booby Ike turns street history into real estate, music, and business. Those details are simple, but they build immersion, and it's not only technical, it is social. A convincing open world is not just one where the water looks good, it is one where the people feel like they belong there and the culture around them feels specific, like their actions actually serve a bigger purpose to the overall narrative. And this is where GTA 6 could really separate itself from the rest of the market. If it changes gaming, it probably will not be because of one giant headline feature, it will be because multiple systems start working together at a higher level. Better animation, smarter NPC movement, denser traffic logic, more believable environmental reactions, better materials, better lighting, and better transitions between gameplay and story presentation. Patents assigned to Take-Two describe systems for large-scale road network navigation using coarse graphs, and separate data-driven character locomotion systems that can define and adapt character movement more flexibly. Patents are not guarantees of what ships in the final game, so no one should treat them like confirmed featured lists. But they do show the kind of back-end problems Rockstar's parent company has been investing in. How to make large worlds move better, and how to make characters look less robotic while moving through them. In titles this huge, immersion breaks fastest in the system's layers. A game can look amazing in a screenshot and a gameplay trailer, and still feel fake the second traffic behaves weird. Pedestrians react the same way every time, or animations start looking stiff when two systems collide. Rockstar has always been stronger than most studios at hiding that fake feeling. GTA 6 looks like it is trying to push even further, especially now that it is being built for current generation consoles like the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS, from the start instead of being designed around much older hardware. Now there is one big reality check here. Digital Foundry is a game tech analysis outlet. And if Digital Foundry's trailer read is right, basically their best estimate of what the trailer suggests about resolution, frame rate, rendering, and performance, GTA 6 may be leaning hard enough into world detail and lighting that 60 FPS on consoles is not a given. And if that ends up being true, a lot of people will be disappointed, but that would also tell you exactly what Rockstar is prioritizing. The studio may be deciding that density, reflections, animation, atmosphere, and world simulation matter more than the identity of this game than hitting a cleaner frame rate number. Rockstar has not officially confirmed final performance targets, so that part still needs caution. But even the debate itself says something. People are already treating GTA 6 like the kind of game that could force a trade-off between raw performance and a huge leap in world fidelity. And that is why the rest of the industry is paying attention. The excitement around GTA 6 is not just fan hype. Obviously, we know Rockstar is one of the biggest development companies in the world, and the worlds and games they build are absolutely amazing and beyond anything we can think of. But other developers are openly talking about it like a standard setter. Creators from major studios said that they were curious what innovations GTA 6 would bring, said it could redefine player standards, and described it as a once-in-a-generation turning point. That is not a normal praise. That is the kind of language people use when they expect a release to reshape what players ask for next. That is usually how Rockstar's biggest games land. They do not just succeed, they quietly make older design feel, well, old. So when I look at GTA 6, I do not just see a bigger GTA. I see Rockstar trying to combine a few different things at once. The scale and culture weight of GTA, the living world detail of Red Dead Redemption 2, and current-gen hardware that finally lets them push a modern city without also being tied to 2013 console limit. That is why this game could change gaming forever. Not because every other studio will suddenly copy it overnight, but because after GTA 6, players may start noticing every place where other open worlds still feel flat. The stiff cloth, the dead streets, the fake reflections, copy-paste interiors, and the NPCs that stop feeling believable the second you really watch them. That is what benchmark games do. They make the old standard harder to unsee, and GTA 6 looks like it wants to be exactly that kind of game. And with that, I ask you, do you think GTA 6 changes gaming more through graphics, smarter AI, or just how alive the world feels?